Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. How is everyone doing? I hope this broadcast finds you well. I appreciate everybody who shows up tonight for my live stream and everybody who watches the video afterwards. And tomorrow we're going to have a big day. We're going to see what it's all about. But as we have said many times, the White House is putting out proof after proof after proof, and a lot of people still just don't get it. There is a plan. But what do I do? I had the weirdest live stream the last time I was up. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I'll do my intro that got wiped out. I didn't even get a chance to do it. Nobody showed. There's something very wrong with live stream. Hopefully there won't be one this time, but I play videos while people come in and get themselves a nice cup of coffee, a cold brew, or an adult beverage of their choice, whatever they want. And then what will we do? We'll be like butter and get on a roll.
Dust on my Bible, flags on the line. You laughed at our warnings, called truth a crime. You sold us your secrets, wrapped up like hope. Signed all our futures with a poison note. You sat in your mansions, we prayed in the rain. You cast every favor on a ledger of pain. You thought you were covered, names on a list, private plain pages you swore don't exist. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. You thought she was certain, thought he was too. Shook hands in the back room, said they'll never break through. You mocked every farmer, every steel-toed boo. Called him crazy and bitter while you buried the proof. Now screens start flashing, whole names, young kids, whole world scrolling through the things y'all did. Digital soldiers from the cornfields to Rome say leave our children alone or we're taking you home. Let's go! Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. From the back roads to the big tall towers, Patriots worldwide, this the final hour. You can beg, you can bargain, you can scream, you can hide, but the book's been written and your name's inside. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. Nothing's gonna stop what's already signed. Game over.
Storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
And he's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
I think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution
some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and HE in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. It's nice to see you all. I hope you're doing well. We will take care of it. Ha, ha, ha. Let's see who came by to see me tonight. Let me see how we got a lot of people in. Ha, ha, ha. It's good. Sherry's here. Sissy's here. Rubber Toe's here. Robin. Elva. All right. Rebecca. Mac is here. Wayne's giving me a thumbs up. Ha, ha. Sissy. Kim. Cole's here. Brett's here. Yeah, they thought they were covered, Elva. Cole's here. All right, we got the younger gang coming in. Melinda's here. Let's see who else is coming in. We got, if I miss anybody. Hi, Robert. Nice to see you. Let's see. Everybody's rolling in. Come on in, shake off your skin, rattle around in your bones. Ha ha, Darla. Let's see. All right. So, I'm not going to make big predictions, but we're going to talk about what's going to go on tomorrow. I'm still going. There's Tammy. I was looking for the other half of the younger gang. No notification. What? The world's going on. Wayne, you're my witness. I started last night. I mean, the last broadcast I did got screwed up, didn't it, Wayne? Weird, wasn't it? And it disappeared. It didn't even show up on YouTube. I was going to leave it as a short, which was the intro I just did. And it didn't show up anywhere. Like it didn't even happen. Hi, Stanton. How you doing? You're my witness, Wayne. You were there. I couldn't get a viewer count. I couldn't get it, and nothing was working. And then, oh my gosh, I got back up. Hi, Benjamin. And after the broadcast, I went to check it and was like, what happened? Where'd it go? I don't know. Just technical difficulties, I reckon. So anyway, I'm not going to make big predictions about Trump's address to the nation. He went to parts unknown. Yeah, I guess so. I didn't take it off YouTube. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm not going to make you predictions. He told people he had big news. And you figure they'd say, well, what kind of big news? Because they always ask him about everything else. They always, are you going to bomb so-and-so? How long are you going to be in Iraq? Iran. I can't tell you that. Over and over again. But when he says, I'm having an address to the nation, prime time, going to have a big story, big news, they just go on to the next thing. Do you think Lindsey Graham was poisoned? So anyway, the Guardian I don't know what's causing them to pop up so much. Watch, fake news. Is Donald Trump winning his war against the media? Trump's war against the media, or is it the media's war against Trump? I think they got it backwards. But what kind of a damn story is this put up? President and allies have sued, cut access, and issued subpoenas, but experts say media still producing strong work. What do you mean, the odor? The odor of mendacity that's over their work? Is that what's strong? Oh, here's a picture of Lindsey Graham with, I think, is that Lindsey Graham? Yeah, with Trump. The Sun. Trump is grilled on whether Lindsey Graham was poisoned during the Ukraine trip. I went over that a little bit, and I tell you, I had a friend who was a cardiovascular surgeon. He liked to tip the bottle a little bit, and he would get walking 3 feet off the ground. And man, this was many, many years ago. The description he gave me of calcified veins or atrophied vein, more detail than I wanted to know. But he said you could make a pair of shoes out of them. It's just stuff that has been removed and replaced with another part of artery in a better shape in your body. Or people have used bovine heart parts. I knew a guy who had a bovine heart, a ventricle from a bovine, which is cattle. And he lived to be almost 90. But anyway, but they're still with the poison stuff. So I don't know. Let the clickbaiters do what the clickbaiters want to do. We lost a good man, I think. Of course, nobody agreed with him on everything. Reason TV, Donald Trump. Let's see what kind of reason they have. Donald Trump has serially exceeded. Listen to this. I don't know who claims responsibility for this channel or platform. Donald Trump has serially exceeded the most infamous corruptions in U.S. history while generating a fraction of the outrage. What kind of generalization? The most corrupt presidency in American history by the numbers. Remember Obama saying, we had no drama, Obama. We had no scandals. Now let's see what way they're wanting to paint it. And it's funny how this comes out right after Trump says he's going to have a big address and got big news to tell people. In my heart of hearts, I'd love for him to announce, and I'm not kidding, that Obama was in custody or sent in exile back to Kenya, something like that. Of course, that's not going to happen. But it could be an announcement of something. Things have been awful quiet about Tim Walz, right? Raphael Warnock was running his mouth a couple of weeks ago, and I had some blurbs I was going to put up about him, and I said to myself, I was going to say when I put the blurbs up, you haven't heard nothing out of him, and when they start making noise, that's when you look at him and go, what's this all about? He's been quiet. He's the avowed commie out of Georgia. Okay. How the hell did he get to be a senator in Georgia? And the rumor is, one of many rumors that he's going to be the subject of the talk tomorrow. So we'll see. But like I said, he all of a sudden came out with some fantastic issues, as Jesse Jackson would say, issues. What did I tell y'all? we're jumping from topic to topic, but I'm telling you, it's all an intricate web. All right, not a tangled web to figure out. It's just intricate. How many times have I said with data centers, who's complaining about them? Before you make a judgment about data centers, look at who is against them and who's for them. Hi, Pappy Two Bears. Hi, Dean. How you doing? Bruce, how you doing? Nice to see you. Who else came in here? Who else snuck in on me? Ha, ha, ha. But anyway, look here. New York Governor Kathy Hochul signs a moratorium on data centers in the state. Two things I've heard about data centers: power and water. Okay? Don't fall for it. Trump showed in California they're withholding water. How many times have I said the houses that were floating by in North Carolina all had water-saving devices in the kitchen and the bathrooms where you couldn't take a shower? And there's your house getting swept away. Trump used the military to force California to open the valves so their own citizens could have water. There's plenty of damn water. And I've said in the past, don't think like a child. As a child, you flush your toilet and you say, oh, I'll never see that. I'm wasting water. We're going to run out one day. No, we're not. Power? Trump already, I tell you what. He gave them permission to build their own power plants. I've harped on it, but I want to tell you something in a minute. First of all, let me read this. New York Governor Kathy Hochul signed an executive order Tuesday imposing the country's first nationwide statewide moratorium on data centers. The move ensures that no large data centers can be built in the state for up to a year, as state creates rules to protect the environment. It's all a bunch of... They're working for a country that I believe is going to be brought up as far as foreign interference. You know why? Yeah, I'll tell you why I think that in a minute. Trump's dropping hints day in and day out, okay? They don't want us to get ahead of them in data centers, in artificial intelligence, or anything else. There was a video that I wanted to watch because it was about that woman that got her office raided. Because I was sitting there thinking, how many things have we got going? What is Trump going to talk about, right? And something popped up on the screen about a woman. She was a congresswoman or in Virginia. I can't remember her name. Here it is. FBI wiretaps a Virginia senator, Louise something or other. Remember this, folks? Remember this? So I said, I got to find out what the latest on this, right? Because this would put up about an hour before I watch it. I was thinking, man, maybe it's tied in with her, and how they flipped Virginia with Spamberger. Well, anyway, of course, she's blaming Trump. Like he cared. She got in trouble for some fraud because of her. She had business in selling pot or, something like it, some kind of head shops. They call them head shops around the state, and money laundering. I don't know what it was. But she's blaming Trump, and I'm listening to it. I said, this is too much small potatoes for Trump to talk about it when he addresses the nation. But this guy, you might want to watch this, check this channel out, this particular video, because he said two things. One was that they put a new fee on everybody's electric bills, a compulsory fee, making the rates go up. And what do the Democrats, what are they hollering about now? Affordability crisis because of Trump, affordability crisis. And what do we see? Newsom putting huge taxes on gas, huge taxes on their utilities, okay? Well, I didn't know Virginia also put I can't keep track of everything, you know, but they put something on there, a universal thing on their utilities. That's one of the reasons they don't want data centers to have permission to create their own power sources, because they can't collect the fees. Okay? That's why they don't want data centers in their areas, because they would be much more efficient as private entities in building a power plant, that they would be able to sell it to the localities. And there goes all their crap fees they stick on top of it. What was the other one he brought up? They got passed some kind of voter integrity bill, supposedly, and allocated millions of dollars to this group that is supposed to help with voter integrity. And you know what Democrats think voter integrity is? Cheating. So they're financing their own cheating. So that was an interesting thing, even though I didn't find out what anything I thought would impact this coming discussion by Trump. But it's coming. And what's my picture there? So yes, Trump is talking to everybody, right? Trump posted this picture, and I added the words, yes, there is a plan. Why am I saying that? Why do I have that as my thumbnail? I was going to put a picture of Amy Coney Barrett and Mark Wayne Mullen on my thumbnail before I came up with this one. And it was going to say compromised by fear. We watched, many of us watched Amy Coney Barrett. I hate to use the term sniveling, but she was sniveling in front of Congress about how scared she was. Okay? She was trembling. You hate to call somebody a coward, like, a mother, a female. But she's been compromised. She's been intimidated by the violent left. And she's not up for the job. I played that clip of Clarence Thomas, and I'll play it again in the future, where he said, I'd rather die than back down to these people. I won't remove myself from the process. They're not going to make me cry, uncle. If they want to kill me, they can kill me, but I'm not backing down. That's what you need, not only in SCOTUS, but in every high position of office. We pledge our lives and our sacred honor. Sound familiar? But we don't need justices that when you go, boo, they go, oh, what do you want me to do? And change their mind or twist their opinion. Her children were put in danger. Teenage children, but still children. My mom called me her baby till the day she passed. And there's no doubt in my mind that her decisions are being affected. Mark Wayne Mullen coming out with this garbage of suspending all traffic stops. Trump turned him up, flipped it over. We'll talk about that more. But Amy Coney Barrett should resign, and Mark Wayne Mullen should be fired. But, hey, Trump knows what he's doing. We'll get back to that in a minute. But my thumbnail I did, instead of putting those two up, saying compromised by fear, Mark Wayne Mullen and Amy Coney Barrett, I put this up. Yes, there is a plan. Who put this out? Department of War. Are you trusting the plan, Patriot? This isn't something I dug out of the dusty internet files from 10 years ago. I had a friend who used to say, if he felt like people were shunning him or wanting him to leave or ignoring me, he'd say, I don't need a building to fall in on me. I know I can take a hint. What do people need? A building to fall on top of them to take a hint? How many things have we seen that were the exact same words of the 17th letter? Department of War and Dow Rapid Response. 7:07 a.m. When was that? The 14th. Yesterday morning. So, any panicins out there? Anybody thinks lizard people are going to pop up out of the ground and eat us all alive and we'll never make it, that the aliens are going to come? Listening to people that don't know their rear end from third base, but they get the clicks. Here's the picture right here. Trump put up a lot of pictures, just pictures with no comment. What do you notice, folks? I'm going to ask the chat. Why would he post this? Yeah, I'll get in more detail with this Mark Wayne Mullen thing, believe me. Maybe it's a good way to just remove him from his position. Hi, Dirt Squirt. How you doing? Where's K&S Cleanup? He helped finish up last week on Buy Me a Coffee. I gotta get some booms ready. There we go. Boom. All right, he's probably working or getting ready, tired, getting some rest to go to work. Pappy said Don Road Doctor. That's right. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, that's right. She sees what's on that map. It's an expanded version of the Monroe. Keir Starmer put an egg in his shoe and beat it today. Good. What do I call them? Euro ferries, right? One more Euro ferry gone. Yeah, you see the map back there. Greenland, Canada, USA, and Venezuela. There's Miss Brenda Sue. How you doing? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So anyway, Trump put that up. But also, he put up pictures of the UFC. And I said, well, he's showing that he's a fighter, right? But then he also put up this picture. Two pictures. Him with President Xi. reviewing the troops. That's a very important picture. One day I'll tell you why. And there you see the second picture. Donald Trump with President Xi. And another picture. Donald Trump with President Xi. He's got, look at the looks on his face. You see the one on the left and the one on the right? What did Trump say after he was talking with Netanyahu? I don't trust anybody. You can't. Why would he put up 3 pictures in a row, him, President Xi? Yeah. Prometheus Action. I like listening to when I see her videos. Yeah. Good luck with the EU. Hey, Trump's got the stick. Trump's got the stick. There's billions, trillions, really, when you think about how they've been getting over on us with tariffs. The left is happily putting up pictures of E. Jean Carroll. She's supposed to get her money, or Trump's money. She got it, they say. So, and the left just loves it. Here she is. Ugh. That's not my type either. Justin E.G. Carroll sued President Trump over claims of sexual abuse and defamation, received more than $5 million as part of the civil judgment. Never mind the lawyer's fees just from that one group backed by that creep from LinkedIn was $7 million. So they spent $7 million to get 5. That's interesting. Here's some back and forth I had with somebody. I said, impeach that judge. I was talking about Judge Kaplan, or one of the many judges bothering Trump. And this person's sad, I can't read all the crap. Kept asking me questions and I would answer them. And they finally put up, why are you so afraid to answer my questions? I already did like 3 times. I don't want to put it all on the screen. So I just put up, because you're stupid. Giving you the information to help you understand reality is, to quote Madison, like giving medicine to the dead. You are a waste of time. Nobody likes you. Now, again, go away. I already told him go away a couple of times. So that'd be a good one to put in your own words when you tried and people just say, look, you're too stupid. It's like giving medicine to the dead, information to you. So the left is all thrilled about that. Look at the crap they put up on Midas Trash. You tell me how giving a platform to and not take down stuff like this. How can you avoid some kind of culpability? Now, don't be sad. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Putting up McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and Trump. Disgusting. I've never seen a political climate like this. Look at some of these. This is about E. Jean Carroll. I said Judge Kaplan belongs in jail. At the time of this thread, I had 300 thumbs up. Last I checked, it was almost 700, 600 some. I don't know where it's at now. Kaplan's the one with the E. Jean Carroll case. And so this Halo man said, beside felon Trump, and somebody came to my aid. Look at that. One misdemeanor that was past statute of limitations was turned into multiple felonies. That is illegal. Trump is not a felon. Get over it. Biden and others did everything they could to keep Trump out of the White House, even as far as an assassination attempt on July 13th, 2024. Pound sand. So I gave her a thumbs up. Thank you, Susan. But anyway, yeah. So it used to be, I would say Judge Kaplan belongs to jail. They'd take down my posts, or I'd get maybe 1 or 2 thumbs up. Now it's like 600. Is it? Oh, this is some of the comments from this stupid post here. I didn't put anything. See, laughy faces. Hey, Grim Reaper, step up, dude, and do what's right, get her done. 3 out of 3 ain't bad either. I'm still hoping for the trifecta of trash removal. The U.S. would be further ahead if they were alive, and the 30% Americans who support even Trump's worst policies were gone. They're living in a dream world. They think most people are for this crap that they're espousing, communism, transgenderism, all that. They're crazy. Jerk Smith. I got some clips about him. He's but I'll tell you what, seems to me like they left him a trap door when they were asking him questions. I'll get in that. Jack Smith's team secretly accessed text messages, secretly obtained and reviewed text messages involving dozens of members of Congress. Well, Josh Hawley was asking the questions. And I don't trust Josh Hawley 100%. Believe me, I don't. He may have left him a trap door to crawl out of. But Todd Blanche is going through his hearing to be approved, hopefully. Here's what do you get out of this one? John Solomon. What do you get out of this? Listen to what he has to say. He's talking about what Trump is going to say. And what do you get out of this?
News media should be focused on, but they love anonymous stories because they can always claim afterwards their sources just weren't right. I guarantee you on Monday morning, people will wake up and they will feel good that the president gave a primetime speech. I'm sure of it. He's going to say what he's going to say, but they pick primetime speeches because they're important. So I'll leave it at that and let the American people judge, but I think there'll be plenty there.
He's the first person that I've heard use the term primetime. That's what I put in my title last night, or my last broadcast, primetime speech. But what did you? I found it a little bit odd. Now I trust John Solomon. He said he's going to say what he's going to say. Yeah, they're gone, Tammy. That's right. What do you think? What did you find might have been a little bit off about this? What he just said. What was a little bit off? Now he's going to have Kash Patel there, he's going to have everybody, are they just going to stand and listen to a speech? John Solomon said he was going to give a speech. I said an address, and he's going to have there with him. I'm sure they're not going to be potted plants. I expect we'll hear from them too. So is that really a speech? But what he said was the American people are going to wake up Monday feeling good. Did you hear that? Why would they wake up Monday feeling good?
News media should be focused on, but they love anonymous stories because they can always claim afterwards their sources just weren't right. I guarantee you on Monday morning, people will wake up and they will feel good that the president gave a primetime speech. I'm sure of it. He's going to say what he's going to say, but they pick primetime speeches because they're important. So I'll leave it at that and let the American people judge, but I think there'll be plenty there.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're going to wake up Monday morning feeling good. Is something big going to happen over the weekend? Because you're going to give. Why won't they wake up Friday morning feeling good? Or Saturday? And I'm thinking Trump put up those pictures of him and President Xi because the foreign country he's going to refer to may very well be China. And Xi may have just, they had an internecine battle, as many have heard, a power struggle. Maybe he gave Trump everything he needed as to who was meddling in our elections, who was arranging these birthright pay-to-play babies, or whatever they're called, tourist babies. Maybe he gave him everything he needs. Hi, Roland. How you doing? So anyway, Trump had an interview. Well, one thing he did was he heartily endorsed Mike Lindell, the Pillow Man. And Mike Lindell was talking to Steve Bannon. I don't want to spoil the clip, but he does point out he said it was a good thing that Trump lost 2020. Was that getting us to the precipice? I don't know. Listen to him and then we'll talk about it.
Did Joe Biden win the 2020 election, Mike Lindell?
Not even close, Steve. He lost by about 6 million votes, maybe even more.
Did he, upon being an illegitimate regime and having an inauguration that had like 50 people show up, you remember, right? That's what kind of crowd you drew. Did he not, sir, over the next couple of years, work with NGOs, work with many of the leftists that you see in Minneapolis to basically have a systematic invasion of this country by at least 20 million illegal aliens, sir?
100%, everybody. And Steve, here's what I tell people about that too. What a blessing the 2020 election was. That's probably one of the biggest blessings our country will ever get in history, because you know what? If they'd have put President Trump in right away, we'd have lost our country forever. They needed to steal that election and hit the ground running to destroy our country from Muslims practicing Islam's illegals coming in, all this invasion. And it opens people's eyes. Not just, when 80% of the public wants the Save America Act passed, of all Democrats and Republicans, of the people. It woke up the people. And this is huge. It's like in Minnesota here, the fraud has waken everybody up in Minnesota. And so I view it as a big blessing, but you're spot on. This is what we fought for 5 years, everybody, but we didn't fight in vain. Here we are. We're starting to see the fruits of our fight. The War Room Posse is
the fruits of our fight. Because you think if Trump would have won in 2020 that the E. Jean Carroll interlocutors and Confederates would have just said, "Oh, we can't sue him now. He's president." That the so-called intelligence community would have kept trying to have him unseated. That they wouldn't have gone through with felony charges in New York. That he would have been for years tangled up in more impeachments, more legal actions to where he couldn't even function as president. Robert Gavoya put this up. I watched it. I watched it when you're doing a live. Boy, it's tough, though, when you have non-skippable ads during live and you're trying to keep up. But anyway, watch those non-skippable ads. Case reversed. I'll let you all watch it if you want. 6 years. Why the hell did it take 6 years? An election case. And the reason I'm bringing this up because the judge that got reversed was Emmett Sullivan. I did a video about him. He's the one who was going after General Flynn and wouldn't drop the case. He's the one who presided over the criminal case, supposed criminal case, against Stevens, Senator Stevens from Alaska, which that case eventually got overturned, but not before Stevens lost his seat. That was the seat that gave them enough of a majority to pass the commie Obamacare. And then he died in a plane crash after his case was thrown out. And he could have made a political comeback, but you can't when your plane crashes and you don't survive. So that was interesting. This is what's going around. Trump could say, hey, the big news is we've got X number of millions of babies got Trump accounts. That's the big news. I don't know. Remember when he had a big announcement to make at Mar-a-Lago? Remember that, folks? A historic announcement. Remember that? It was in the ballroom in Mar-a-Lago. We all were waiting. And he said, Nancy Pelosi is out as speaker. People were like, well, that's no big announcement. Well, apparently it was for President Trump because she is one of the keystones to the deep state control over this country. But anyway, some people are saying, boom, President Trump is allegedly planning to announce that both Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock are illegitimate due to election fraud. And there was a clip today of Ossoff asking Todd Blanche, can you say who won the election? And Todd Blanche said, I'm not answering that. You're grandstanding. You have to be forthright and honest. You're not being forthright and honest. He said, yes, I am. Did y'all see that clip? John Ossoff is scared. Raphael Warnock, like I said, he came out in the news a couple of weeks ago to where I clipped the little articles to talk about, what's he doing poking his head up all of a sudden. And he's a commie. He said he was. I take him at his word. So, is it going to be something that big? And in the yes, there is a plan picture. Who's in the foreground? Hi, Stanton. Who's in the foreground? Ha ha ha, brush. You hear the firehouse. Fire on the mountain. Run, boys, run. Devil's in the house of rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. So anyway, oh, what happened, Rain? Oh, well, it's okay. Your son goes home. Got to go home. Felix, how you doing? Oh, your youngest son did. Oh, sorry to hear that. Thank you, Stanton. Who's in the foreground of the picture, folks? Who's in the foreground of the picture? Ha ha, that's right. Devil's getting kicked out, Roland. Okay, nobody's taking the bait. There you go, Roland. Lincoln, is that... We got the pictures of him and Xi Jinping. We got the picture of the Lincoln bust and the Monroe Doctrine. And don't think Lincoln didn't take out some senators. Don't think Lincoln didn't shut down over 200 newspapers. Don't think Lincoln didn't set up a gallows right on the Capitol grounds and used them. Okay, just saying. Got two different reports about Warren Buffett. I'm going to play Todd Blanche in a minute. Todd Blanche. But here's CNN talking about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett drops Gates Foundation from his annual donations. Distances himself from Bill Gates. Why is that? Well, CNN, you know how they cover all their bases. Warren Buffett didn't give anything to the Gates Foundation this year, instead directing nearly $6 billion in shares of Berkshire Hathaway to Ford Foundation related to his own family. Well, why would you even bring up Bill Gates? Well, just to let you all know, he's just taking care of his own family. Oh, well, wait a minute. Here's what Newsmax reported. Here's the way Newsmax, was it Newsmax? Yeah. Warren Buffett confirmed he has stopped donating money to the Gates Foundation following revelations about interactions between the Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates and the late S3X offender, guess who? Drum roll, brrr, ting, Jeffrey Epstein. Newsmax. CNN said nothing about it. Because they want to keep, oh, how come you hiding Epstein files? Donald Trump, how come you hiding Epstein files? Well, how come you reported half-ass about Warren Buffett and Newsmax got it right? How come you worried about doing stupid stories on the reflecting pool? They actually did a short. CNN did a short. And I grabbed a screenshot. They were talking about the alleged vandalism. Look at a picture, a still picture they used while they were talking about the reflecting pool that would be drained and put back into service. Why would they put this misleading still? You see there, it's CNN. All in an effort to smear Trump and his efforts to clean up D.C. The petty bastardos are worried about that kind of crap. Here's another thing for your meta page. The media is an arm of the Democrat Party that's entrenched itself in our government, part of the Hydra, okay, quadruple-headed monster, or how many sextuplets or whatever. The duty of a true patriot is to protect his country from his government. Thomas Paine. Here's nothing they're all happy about. And they put in the comments, Trump is such a loser. U.S. refunds $81 billion in Trump tariffs after Supreme Court rules them illegal. Is that another compromised decision from a cowed, intimidated Supreme Court justice? That's our money. That's how come we haven't got any stimulus checks. They're all going back to the oligarchs in Europe, the Euro fairies. Anyway, they are afraid of Blanche. And Dan Scavino went out of his way to put up Todd Blanche's opening statement. And I got to put my headphones in. He's going to be the Attorney General. Look at how much havoc Merrick Garland wreaked on the Trump administration. Look how much Mr. Fast and Furious, what was his name? Obama's Attorney General. The scams and garbage they pulled. Todd Blanche is going to have a lot of power, and they're afraid of him. I know Ossoff is, and he's afraid of what's going to happen tomorrow.
17 months ago, I sat at this table as the nominee to be the Deputy Attorney General, and I told you that serving in the Department of Justice was my American dream. Since then, I've helped lead it, first as deputy and now as acting Attorney General, and I'm here today to earn your trust once more. I've lived the American dream. I waited tables to get through college, moved to New York with my wife and 2 young kids, went to law school at night, read textbooks on the late train home while I worked days as a paralegal at the U.S. Attorney's Office. From that start, I became a prosecutor and spent 9 years prosecuting violent gangs and drug dealers. I rose through the ranks of the Department of Justice as a line prosecutor, then a division chief, then, as of last year, Deputy Attorney General, and now Acting Attorney General. But I did not take that path for a title. I took it to make a difference for American families and the towns they call home. I am exceedingly grateful to President Trump for his trust, and to my family who have carried me through every long day and late night. My wife, Christine, our wonderful children, Sydney and Justin, my granddaughter, Blaine, who's here today. All of them are here today. My wonderful friends, many of whom are here today, are really what make this worth it and what gets me through my days. And so I want to thank them for not only being here today and supporting me, but also being with me every step of the way in the journey that we're on together. My family's blessings should be available to all Americans. When a family can send their kids to school, walk their neighborhood after dark, and build a life without fear, every promise of the American dream is within reach. When they cannot, none of it is. That's my job, securing safety for every American. I'm pleased to testify again today to tell everybody here that we are doing just that. We are keeping America safe. Since President Trump took office, it's been said a few times this morning already, but it bears repeating, murders are down roughly 20% nationwide. We have the lowest murder rate since 1900. Violent crime arrests are up nearly 114%. We've taken almost 5,000 child predators and human traffickers off the streets. And the Department of Justice has filed nearly 100,000 indictments and informations since January 20th, 2025. Additionally, in just the last 4 weeks, in just the last month, we've paid $96 million in claims through the Public Safety Officers Benefits Program to eligible surviving families of fallen public safety officers, even while fewer law enforcement officers were killed in the line of duty than the prior years. And obviously, these are not just numbers. Each one is a family that still has its son or daughter and an officer who came home for dinner. If you look at Washington and Memphis as examples, where we have worked with federal, state, and local partners, pulling thousands of criminals off the streets in those two cities. Homicides in D.C. are down about 60%, and overall crime in Memphis declined by more than 40%. We've seized thousands of illegal guns, brought more than 150 missing children home in those two cities, and cleaned up parks and spaces family once avoided, so you can take your kids and loved ones there once again. We are enforcing our borders. We are prosecuting the smugglers who profited from an open border, removing criminal aliens, and dismantling gangs like MS-13 and TDA. We're smashing the cartels and ending the scourge of drugs in our communities. We designated the major cartels as foreign terrorist organizations because that's exactly what they are. And we're using every tool that unlocked: narco-terrorism charges, forfeiture, and extraditions. Dozens of cartel leaders are now in American custody. Drug seizures are skyrocketing, and overdose deaths are finally falling. We are protecting taxpayers. Last year, the department brought the largest healthcare fraud takedown in American history, more than $14 billion, and another $11 billion in total fraud in just the last 3 months. That's money stolen from the fisc, stolen from Medicare, from seniors, working families, and we're clawing it back. We're doing all of this, I will add, through partnership. Federal agents, state troopers, county sheriffs, local officers, and state attorneys general in your home states, all pulling in the same direction. That is what happens when we fight crime together, and I want to bring that model that we've done in a few towns to more communities in every state. Above all, we are restoring American trust. In recent years, we watched the Justice Department turned against many of you and a former president, and it damaged the public's faith in justice. We are fixing that. Members of this committee on both sides have fair questions about the hard debates of the past year, and I welcome them. I'm proud of what we've done to help American families see safer streets and to have a fair shot at the life they're working to build. None of this is a Republican or Democrat issue. Every senator here has constituents who just want to be safe. The men and women of this department are the finest people I have ever worked with, and leading them is the honor of my professional life. We are keeping America safe, and we are just getting started. I love this country. I love the Department of Justice. Thank you very much, Chairman, for the opportunity to appear before this committee today, and I look forward to answering your questions. Thank you.
And Ossoff, oh boy, Ossoff said Trump is delusional if he thinks he won the election, and Todd Blanche was real cool about it. Some nasty questioning from Ossoff, but Todd Blanche could have said, Donald Trump passed 3 cognitive exams. Why don't you take one, Ossoff? You're calling the president delusional? You're not allowed to do that on the Senate floor. Are you saying 76 million people are delusional? Maybe you're the delusional one, Mr. Ossoff. Maybe we will find out something about him tomorrow. I don't know. Is this Scavino again? Yeah. Dan Scavino. 18 USC 1001. Who's he talking about? Jerk Smith. Look at him all bug-eyed. He looks creepy, man. Messages between the lawmakers and White House employees were sent October 20th and January 20th, 2021. Between, I think I said, Trump administration personnel included former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, Dan Scavino. So Dan Scavino wants to see Jack Smith get his comeuppance. And I think that's coming. Why will we sleep good Monday or wake up happy Monday for something happening Thursday? This is the part, now comes the pain, where the pain of wondering what's going to happen. Got to have us some clandestine, because he's got a little clip to go along with it that you all will find interesting. I don't know for sure what's going to happen on Thursday. But I know for absolute certain that Trump is not going to allow the treasonous Dems to cheat in 2026. Trump will invoke the Insurrection Act and secure elections. How do I know this? Well, not only did Trump tell us many times that he would, but the Dems are terrified that he will do it as well. Ex-CIA and current deep state asset Senator Slotkin has been squealing about it since 2025. Here she is in December, breaking down exactly what it is that they fear. Don't forget, Slotkin is the same one who joined in on that video telling the U.S. military to disobey laws, disobey orders they feel is unlawful. They fear Trump is going to find, quote, a pretext to invoke the Insurrection Act, in which he can use to secure elections and place U.S. military polling locations to scare illegals, and then use the U.S. military to conduct arrests on U.S. soil. think Antifa and election fraud as the pretext. Slotkin also brings up the possibility that Trump labels Democrats as liberal terrorists. Well, they're communists too. And arrests them for their complicity in the insurrection. Oh, that'd be great. Think Kavanaugh hearing. Unlawful enemy combatants. I played that video many times, him and Lindsey Graham. Anons know that this has always been the plan. Yes, there is a plan. And the Dems are terrified because they can see the pieces moving into place. And they know Trump is going to carry through with it. And there's absolutely nothing they can do to stop it. The only thing they can do is attempt to get the public to revolt. That's what is at stake here. This is the great battle of our time. The National Guard Quick Reaction Force for all 50 states are already on standby, in addition to federalized National Guard troops in hotspot locations in Democrat cities already, as well as the presence in D.C. and the active duty U.S. military are fully prepared for operations on U.S. soil. The military is the only way. And here she is. Here she is. Why do you think she would put out a video saying, disobey orders, unlawful orders, and then she's going to say what's lawful and what isn't lawful?
The first, a scenario in which Trump finds a pretext, invokes the Insurrection Act, and tries to impose martial law. Elections, therefore, could be canceled, or if they happen, he could surround polling places with military and federal law enforcement to intimidate voters. The second option is harder to track, but can still swing an election, labeling opposition groups, candidates, and elected officials as terrorists or criminals, and going after the infrastructure that allows for competitive elections.
Competitive elections. We shall see. We shall see. Iran has allowed an American citizen who was wrongfully detained in December of 2024 under the president, quote, air quotes, presidency of Sleepy Joe Biden to leave the country. She is now safely outside Iran and in good condition. The United States of America appreciates the gesture of goodwill by Iran. President Donald J. Trump, wow, he is slapping the mortal you-know-what out of them. You know, he met with the president of Iraq. And Iraq is part of the OPEC Plus that did the agreement to increase their oil production. So, yeah, things are being worked out, been worked out. All right. Trump's ground campaign comment sparks questions. President Donald Trump raised the possibility of a ground campaign as tensions with Iran continue to escalate and offer few details. Why would you offer details on a ground campaign? Military analysts, who is that the press uses? Any idiot that'll toe the line. Any large-scale ground assault would face significant logistical. You just said the same damn thing when they went and got Maduro out of Venezuela. So even as U.S. forces remain positioned across the region, blah, blah, blah. So, the lefties are, he's going to start World War III. Let's see what Trump's got to say here. Let's see what he's got to say here. I think I can hear this without my headphones.
I was called by different people, different countries, kings and emirs and all of the people that we all know and we all love, and they've been very strong partners. And they said, we'd love to do it a different way. We'd love to invest in the United States with billions and billions of dollars and continue our record setting, because there's never been a time like this for the United States, with the factories, with the plants, with everything else. And we would like to invest tremendously in the United States as opposed to charging a fee. And I like that, actually, because I don't think anybody should be able to charge a fee for the straight or for any other straight relationship in terms of other sections of the world. I don't think anybody should be really in that position. But we were doing it as a reimbursement. The Gulf states are going to invest a tremendous amount of money into the United States, and that was very satisfactory to me. I think it's actually much better.
Yeah, he's talking about, they were saying, oh, Taco, Trump chickened out on charging tolls. That kind of usual crap. And where is that one post that they put up? Let me see if this is it. Let me see. Telegraph. Trump cancels Hormuz toll after 1 day. He did not cancel the toll. He didn't need... There's more than one way to skin a cat, and there's more than one way to collect money. Donald Trump has canceled 20% toll on ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz just 1 day after announcing it. The U.S. president said the United States reimbursement fee would instead be replaced with investment deals from states in the Gulf states in the region. And I put up nothing, no thumbs up. I think they took my post down. Trump didn't cancel anything. He clarified the method of assessment. We will be reimbursed. Wake the hell up. And of course, here they are. It's Taco Tuesday. Next Monday, Iran is a beautiful country with nice people. They will manage it. You know, just... reading that name, that's from the UK. Mr. Chowdhury. And Tezenho. Who the hell's that? Self-deport. Self-deport already. Here's somebody who's going to be deported right here. Look at that. Is that a man or a woman? We don't know. We don't know. But Canadian citizen attacks a teen girl who was wearing Trump-themed clothing here in the States. I think was it in Boston? Where was it? Got arrested and is now in ICE custody. Go back to Canada and you do that euthanasia thing. Put yourself out of our misery with dealing with you. Look at this. Here they are obsessing. Obsessing. They put this picture up. And I've seen this picture. Count how many times you see this picture or a variation of this picture. And this creepo here, in my opinion, Aaron Parnas, breaking. The Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool is being drained. And yet again, as Trump continues to blame, quote, vandals for damage, despite questions about whether his own motorcade may have contributed to the problem. Trump's vehicles drove across the newly renovated pool before it reopened, and critics have raised concerns about whether that could have damaged the surface. Meanwhile, the pool has faced repeated issues with algae, peeling material, and costly repairs. So, Again, putting doubt, trying to create doubt about vandals. When we saw with our own damned eyes, they killed the grass to put up 8647, 10-foot tall numbers, witnesses, seeing people pulling the material up with their hands. But it may have been Trump's motorcade. So I put up there, so the mouth breathers think those irregular scum lines are tire tracks. What a pack of dimblewits. It was vandalized. People go to jail, live with it. And here they are. This is the kind of garbage. This thing is going to end up costing $1 billion, all because one old man has the intelligence of a squash grape. Yes, and it's being drained along with our bank accounts. The amount of money spent is a pimple on a mule's behind compared to what was dumped into that reflecting pool, stolen over decades and decades, but they fixate on it. They fixate. Let me see what's going on here. This is Fox News. This is about Jerk Smith. I'm not sure. Let me see. Let's play it and see what it's about.
This, a shocking new report alleging that former special counsel Jack Smith's investigative team read text messages between President Trump or Trump officials and dozens of lawmakers on both sides of the aisle during his probe into President Trump. This comes despite Smith testifying under oath last December that he did not spy on lawmakers' text message content.
Did the toll records that you requested from the senators, did they include the content of the phone calls?
No.
Did the records that you requested, the toll records from the members of Congress, include the content of text messages?
No.
Senate Judiciary Chair Chuck Grassley writing, quote, "This is yet another grotesque example of the Biden administration's weaponization of the Justice Department. At this point, no one should be shocked by Jack Smith's recklessness and blatant abuse of power, but they should be."
Well, wait a second. That's the part I was talking about. Josh Hawley was asking him, the toll records you requested, did that include a request for text messages? And he said no. That's the trapdoor I'm talking about. Toll records. He didn't ask him point blank, did you receive text messages? No, he's saying, did your request include text messages from the toll records? And if they didn't request them but got them anyway, he'll say no. He got them anyway and read them and handed them around to be read. So, technically speaking, he didn't lie to Congress. I didn't like the way Josh Hawley asked that question. It was very specific. Did your request include text messages? Requests for the toll records include text messages? No. But did he get text messages? Yes. So they're saying, well, we can get it by lies of omission. Yeah, try to make that stick. I think it was a poor way to ask the questions, and I that's why I have trust issues with Josh Hawley. This is about to end.
Outraged.
Well, smoke and mirrors, I think. Smoke and mirrors. Speaking of smoke and mirrors, I haven't watched this yet. But there's a creepy old man behind a chair. Who's this creepy old man? His memoirs are coming out, I think in November. Is he the real deal or a rubber face?
Since I left the presidency, I've had a lot of people ask me, Joe, what have you been doing? I've been spending a lot of time with my family. I've been dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and I've been getting treatment, and it's been going really well. I want to thank all those who offered their prayers, their support, and well wishes. It's meant the world to me and to Jill. I've written a book about my time as president. It's called Promise Me America. It's coming out in November, and it's available for pre-order now. It's about the challenges we face as a nation, and about the decisions I made, and why I made them. Leading the country through COVID, rebuilding our economy, and restoring our democracy after the attack on January 6th. Ending our nation's longest war in Afghanistan, strengthening NATO, and supporting Ukraine. It's about why I chose to run for re-election and why I chose to step aside. Most of all, it's about my faith in the promise of America. The promise we made to those who've gone before us is to honor their sacrifice. The promises we made to one another and to treat everyone with dignity and respect. And the promises we made to future generations of Americans to remain the beacon to the world. Promise Me America is about my faith in America and the American people. I hope you'll read it, and I hope it strengthens your faith in what we can do as a nation and a people.
Yeah, it turns your stomach. On sale November 17th. Good Lord of Moses. So anyway, here's Senator Kennedy, I think, talking to Todd Blanche. When is the vote going to be? Tomorrow? Is the vote for Todd Blanche going to happen before Trump's primetime address? That's what I'd like to know. I believe it's going to be tomorrow.
I've read your resume. We all have. You don't need to comment on this, but it just seems to me that no fair-minded person could conclude that you're not qualified. You spent a long time with the department. You spent a long time in private practice. So the opposition of my Democratic friends must be based on something else.
Huh. What do you mean by I chose to step aside? Step out of the race. Why he chose to step out of the race and let Kamala run. Hi, Todd. Yeah, he's got his garage. That's where they can store his books that don't sell. What is this one? Let me see. Oh, I guess I'll play this. KTLA reporter has ice in her veins. If you were a reporter, could you continue to report? What would you do if you were on camera and this happened to you? Let's see. Hold on.
And it's a lot more comfortable at this hour, but we're still in the 80s here in the valley. So overnight temperatures not necessarily dropping, and this leads to less recovery time from the daytime heat. And
Okay, I have to hand it to her. She was really calm dealing with
I don't know if she
that.
knew that was there at that point.
So those fly?
Yeah, they do fly. That's like a flying cockroach.
Oh, Woo, Eric.
It is.
Okay, that's our Rachel
It's a flying
Menitoff,
cockroach.
who is so professional. She kept her cool. There's no way I would have been able to keep my cool on this.
No way.
She probably wasn't sure what it was. You just know there's something.
Something large.
No.
At the end, I have to say I'm so relieved that it jumped onto the mic because it looked like it was going to crawl like
into her shirt or in her
clothing,
hair.
and I was like, oh,
in her
God.
mouth.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
And that's one of those things that several hours later you're still feeling it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You still feel like
Yeah.
it's on your body.
Yeah.
Maybe even several days later.
Oh.
Now we're
my
all going to have
gosh.
nightmares about flying cockroaches.
You know,
yeah.
it's this humidity.
It is the humidity. Yes.
It is.
There's all kinds of insects. that come over.
I only take credit when the weather is good and you like it. None of the weather like this.
It was just a bug for crying out loud.
That's a very
Get
cool
over
moment
it.
to see him like that because it was very humid there too. Slightly bigger.
There you go. That's enough of that. That's enough. It's just a bug. Said he would have ate it. So anyway, I want to play some of these videos of Trump about Iran. Let's see. Here we go. Carg Island. We played that tape of Trump from back in, I think, 1980, when he said he would take Carg Island.
You came to the conclusion that you couldn't negotiate with the IRGC. Does that mean that you might wipe them out like you did ISIS?
Yeah, it does. We will see what's happening. We received a call just as I was coming here. They want to meet. They always want to meet. But, this should have been done by other presidents for many years, for 47 years, but really a lot longer than that, and it wasn't. And I never understood why, but now I do. Because if you're not going to do it the way I'm doing it, you're never going to make a deal with them. They were very difficult. They're good negotiators. They were tapping everybody along for 47 years. Then Obama came in and he just offered them, a fortune of money. He paid them off. $1.7 billion in green cash and hundreds of billions of dollars. And that really set everyone else back because they started wanting to make nuclear weapons. And then we hit them just about a year ago, with the B-2 bombers, and that ended that. So we got a little bit lucky. Our timing was a little bit lucky.
Yeah, so Mr. President, Dan Kane, Raising Kane, is your chief of staff.
Right.
He was the one, or Joint's chief of staff, he was the one who wiped out ISIS.
That's right.
Could he be tasked then now to wipe out the IRGC if you can't negotiate with them?
Well, we're going to be in good shape. I mean, they are really, they've been depleted. Their weapons are down 91%. The drone capacity is way down. They still have, but not a lot. Their manufacturing capacity is down. Their rocket launchers and their missile launchers are way down. Their missiles are way down. They're probably depleted by 88, close to 90%. Now, that doesn't mean there's still not danger, and there is. They're nasty people, but they want to make a deal. I can tell you they want to make a deal, and you don't have to be a genius to realize when you see what's happening to them every night, and now today we gave them a little daytime shot, too. So this should have been done, not by me, this should have been done a long time ago, long before me.
Yeah, many other presidents long before Donald Trump. Right here. Right here. There they are. Jimmy Carter. Ronald Reagan, George Bush Sr., Bill Clinton, George Bush Jr., Barack Hussein, Obama, have you heard of him, and Joe Biden. They're all saying how bad Iran is, and Trump said, okay, he'll take care of it. Well, they were asking, are you going to wipe out the Republican Guard like you did ISIS? So that's going to make some antennas go up. Here's a sit-down interview he had. I could have put the whole thing down, but it's like a half an hour. So we'll do these clips. And believe me, the Iranians are watching these interviews.
Do you still intend to take Carg Island?
So I can't say that to you because if I did, it would be foolish, right? But it would be nice to make a little headlines, but it would be foolish. But I'll tell you about Carg Island. So we've already
Are you ruling out a ground campaign in a limited capacity?
I don't want to say that either, but I would say no if I thought it was appropriate. I'd say sometimes you need a ground campaign, but we have other people that will do the ground campaign for us. But we already hit Cargill, as you know, twice, even 3 times. I said, hit everything but the oil. Just leave that little area from 25 yards out. Leave that little area. Don't touch the oil. Because I don't want that in terms of the world economy. It's a chunk of the world economy. So we haven't hit that. At some point we could, but I think it's unlikely. As far as taking it is concerned, if we degrade them far enough and deep enough back, I would do that.
Did you hear him say we had other countries that would do that for us? I don't believe he's talking about Israel, but he mentioned Syria going in there to southern Lebanon. Who's he saying other countries would do that for? Whoa, let's see. Didn't they sink or partially sink a tanker, the Iranians, that was Turkish flagged? Turkey, remember President Erdogan holding Trump's hand, and the body language when Trump was in Turkey, showing a symbol of close friendship, personal protection and friendship. Maybe the Turks will go in there and do it, or a faction of the Kurds would assist, or the Syrians, Kurds, Turks. I mean, that just happened with the tanker. And we'll see the response. But here we go again with Donald Trump.
Will these strikes continue?
They'll continue until I say it's enough. I mean, they'll continue. They've been, the word the military likes to use is degrade. They've been degraded to a very low level. And they have fight. It's like a great boxer. You think you have him beat, and then all of a sudden he comes back and he gives you a shot. They have some fight left, but they don't have much. And their weapon degrading has been incredible at a level. Nobody thought it was possible to do it this quickly.
It'll be over when I say it's over. It'll be over when I say it's over. And here we go again with another clip. The last one I'm going to play for you is very telling. But let's see this one here. Hold on, I cut my mic off.
Within 2 weeks, had we not done the B-2 bombers, had we not bombed their nuclear sites, their 3 nuclear sites, and there's another one we're looking at right now, as you know.
Pickaxe.
We're looking at Pickaxe because somebody said there's a little activity. We have cameras, Space Force, we have cameras that they can read the badge, they can read your name, probably Mohammed. They can read your name on a badge from space. And every area of Pickaxe, but the other 3 are covered.
But specifically on
Pickaxe, if they make any move, we immediately go and do whatever we have to do. But they haven't. They were so decimated.
Some weapons experts say that the United States doesn't have the ability to strike deep enough with these bunker buster bombs at Pickaxe Mountain.
They can go deep. We have good stuff. Nobody knows about Pickaxe. By the way, nobody knows if they even are doing anything.
So, yeah, they're making a big deal out of Pickaxe. That could be just a waste, a feint, to get us to waste a lot of heavy bombs. But like you said, you repeated it. We can read your name, Mohammed, on your name tag. So here, Donald Trump. Let's see, what would you say if you were an Iranian involved with the government and you heard this from Trump?
Do you still believe that?
Well, I knew the first group for a little while, and they were evil, and they're no longer with us. I knew the second group also a little bit better, and they were evil, and they're no longer with us. And the third group, they have some bad ones in there, some very bad ones in there.
Just some?
And I think they're the ones that are stopping a deal.
So are you negotiating with the wrong people?
Well, now I don't want to negotiate now. I said, let's not negotiate. 3 days ago, we had a deal.
When was the last time you spoke with an Iranian official?
Well, not me, but let's say my representatives. I have spoken to them, but my representatives over the course of, well, actually, an hour ago.
And what message was delivered?
They want to make a deal, but every time they make a deal, they break it. They don't want to die. People don't want to die. Yeah, about an hour ago.
And what message was delivered?
You better make a deal. You're not going to have anybody left. We're being very careful with the civilian population, as you know, but I said, you better make a deal. You're not going to have anything left.
Yeah, you heard that last comment, didn't you? Better make a deal or you're not going to have anybody left. It's just that plump and plain. The Kurds and Turks don't like each other. Well, there's different factions of Kurds, and nobody likes the Iranians, okay? They're a pariah state. And remember that saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. They say politics makes strange bedfellows. When you get into battle and you have somebody on your side, fighting a common enemy, okay? So, anyway, boy, are they going to go crazy now. Looky here. I'm going to get me some. You can get some? These commemorative coins, Trump dollars. Ha, ha, ha. Watch how many of these crazy liberals will be putting them in their pocket. They'd love it. Better than nothing. Scott Bassett, as America commemorates 250 years of independence, the U.S. Mint will begin striking this new $1 gold coin to honor the enduring legacy and liberty and lasting symbol of patriotism. Featuring President Trump, it celebrates the strength of American values and the promise of a nation dedicated to preserving freedom for all. Ha ha ha. I'd get me a pocket full of them. I'd leave it for tips with a little note. Remember, no tax on tips, says Donald J. Trump. They'll pick it up. Believe me, they won't leave that tip on the table, and they'll grow to like Donald Trump. They will grow to like him. Anyway, I put a link in the chats earlier to buy me a coffee, and then I forgot to say anything about it. Miss Mindersu put some booms in for me because she leaves Moab. So when she goes, buy me a coffee, kapow, kapow. And I mentioned earlier about K&S cleanup. Finished last week for me. I very nicely, I appreciate it, K&S cleanup. And I appreciate your kind words. And we're into a new week, okay? Everybody that helped out last weekend with Miss Mindersu and K&S was Wayne and Robin and Mike and Bev. Kapow, kapow, kapow. I do appreciate it. So at the end of the broadcast, I'll put another link into the description, into the chats, as this is a totally viewer-supported channel. Now, tomorrow, I wanted to talk more about this Amy Coney Barrett and Mark Wayne Mullen. Mark Wayne Mullen shocked and disappointed me. And I'm sure President Trump was not happy either. And I was embarrassed watching. I understand them being afraid. The Supreme Court justices. Everyone who marched down to their houses and protested out of their houses should have been in jail that night. Or as they were en route to the justices' homes. Every single person and every single person behind that. But still, Amy Coney Barrett all but waved a white flag and said her decisions are based on fear. They've instilled fear in her. And Mark Wayne Mullen, stopping traffic stops, not allowing ICE to pull vehicles over. I guess if bank robbers run away and get hit by a car, we should stop chasing bank robbers, right? Because they might get hit by a car. Anyway, what's your story, Mark Wayne Mullen? Why'd you do that? Are you afraid of something too? What's that? What happened? Two high-ranking DHS, where is it? DHS employees were found in a animate condition, no longer breathing, no longer living on this earth. What happened to them? Did you all see that? I'm going to try to find. I just saw a blurb on it before I went live. Two high-ranking Department of Homeland Security. Here we go. Crime scene, do not cross. Have you all heard about this? Do you know who it was in the chats? Have you heard about it? Yes or no, please. Top DHS special agent and his wife found dead. A Department of Homeland Security special agent and his wife were found dead in their New Jersey home in an apparent red rum and you-know-what-aside. Prosecutors said. So, Mark Wayne Mullen, why would you reverse a policy that would slow our momentum for one of the most prescient problems facing our nation, which is illegal immigration? Just because Susan Collins asked you to? Who is Susan Collins? Is the president? If you weren't afraid, did somebody get to you like they got to Amy Coney Barrett? But if that's not the case, I just have to ask, who the hell do you think you are to just cripple a program that is the President of the United States' top priority? So either way, I think you need to go. Either way. So anyway, folks, for tomorrow night, Elva hadn't heard about it. Raging Rain hadn't heard about it. How you doing, Rain? So the gold at Fort Knox. Have you all heard about the gold at Fort Knox? Since I showed that coin for Donald Trump. Well, Scott Bessent was with Jesse Waters. Remember I told you all about $500 bills and $1,000 bills? And I showed you that Kennedy 5 my mother collected for me that I still have. And we had silver certificates, gold certificates. Scott Bessent said if you got a gold certificate, they got the gold. But anyway, folks, I'm going to play this video for you. And he mentions Fort Knox. So, I don't know. Are we ready for Nasara Jassara? Are we ready for new currency? But anyway, what do I always say? I say thank you for spending your precious time with me. My schedule tomorrow will depend on how long the president's address is. We'll see what he says. I don't want people getting on the edges of their seats. I'd like to see something that would stun the country into a awakened state. But then I keep in mind what John Solomon said. People will wake up Monday morning feeling very good about his speech. Keep all that stuff in your mind, folks. But anyway, again, thank you for spending your precious time with me. And If you're subscribed, you'll know when I go live. All right, so why don't you do that? And give me a thumbs up. I forgot to mention that through the whole broadcast. And once again, I put a link to buy me a coffee in about a minute ago. It's in the chats. I do appreciate you all. Enjoy this clip. You all have a great evening. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
What are we looking at here? These look exquisite.
Yep, so these are the displays of our currency over the years. Some of it, like we used to have silver certificates. We used to be backed by silver, sometimes gold. And then in the 70s, we just went to what was called fiat currency, where you didn't have to keep gold or silver in the vault. If any of these are still outstanding, though, the silver or gold for them is the at Fort Knox, waiting for them to be claimed if so needed.
Have you visited Fort Knox?
I haven't. People on my staff has. We're going to the Treasurer's office. The Treasurer has been to Fort Knox, and I am happy to say all gold is present and accounted for. The U.S. has the largest pile of gold in the world, over $1 trillion at current market value.
And we're getting more gold from Venezuela.
I